Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and in lawn news, I got a 100-foot hose. I've never had a 100-foot hose before. It's a game changer. Although taking it out of the the box, I didn't think ahead, and it was in literally like 40 different knots. It's just a lot of hose. But I can get to parts of the yard I could never get to before. I just had to like arc the water up, hoping it would get there. So I'm very excited about the 100-foot hose. So anyway, Star Wars is in the news. Is that what we call YouTube, the news? In a desperate way. The reason these guys only talk about culture war is because that's all they have. Critical Drinker doesn't like movies. In fact, he kind of hates them. Wes doesn't like comics. In fact, he kind of hates them. I don't know what the hell Eric July's motivation is. I never noticed how dead his eyes were until now. So Eric does a video yesterday about Star Wars, and it's a reaction to a tweet. Not from one of the actors, not from one of the directors, not from literally just a regular person. And I'm like, oh, you got nothing. You got 2017 talking points in fucking 2025 because your freaking comic company lost 90% of its customers in 3 years. 3 fucking years. Like I've said before, if you know about the history of comics, the 5-year mark it's a milestone for independent companies. That's usually the part where they get sold off, go into bankruptcy, get acquired. So it looks like Eric is trying to do that. But he does this video, and I mean, just with the deadest of eyes. And I mean, that's something because Jester Bell has a channel. So when I say someone has dead eyes, that's impressive. And he's just bored. And he's just like, it is literally, I got nothing as a subject. It's like, man, Star Wars be woke. Know what I mean? It's like, this is fascinating. But there actually was Star Wars news. But you wouldn't know it by going to YouTube because they're either ignoring it or they're completely... Steven Soderbergh wrote an entire Star Wars script. Not a script mint, which is what they usually do. Script mints are like a couple of pages. It's basically just a long summary. He wrote a whole ass script for a Ben Solo Kylo Ren adventure. And it got rejected because that character's dead. Now, being that it was rejected by Bob Iger, who's like 70, I understand that because that's an old executive thing. So, well, the character's dead. But being that this is fandom and this is Star Wars, it's sci-fi, it's sci-fantasy or whatever they call it, he can come back to life really easily. But old Eric didn't even touch upon that because I don't think he knows. He's going to wait until Az tells him about it. Critical Drinker, on the other hand, did. Although before I want to talk about that, I want to talk about something I forgot to mention when Wes did his Iron Man ChatGPT video. Is that the parts where he was actually talking as himself, he did something so insidious that I didn't notice it at the time. In that he purposefully set up Joshua Williamson, who he claims to love as a writer, for failure, saying that Joshua Williamson, he has to write Iron Man, but he also has to fix the last 20 years of stories. So you have to achieve an indefinable and unachievable task of fixing something, which is completely subjective, including fixing stories from 20 years ago that Wes didn't read. You want to talk about a bad friend. This is the worst type of friend. It's like, hey, you got a new job. You will definitely fail. Why? Because I made some ridiculous, unachievable goals for your job. Not just tell a good story. Oh, no. I hate comics. So you're going to fail even though I constantly promote you. Anyway, getting to Critical Drinker. He was never this bad, right? I mean, I can go back and watch his first few videos, but like... he's awful now. He doesn't even try to make points. He will just say something neutral or even good and then cut to a clip of somebody laughing. Like, damn, you really got him. Hey, asshole, Steven fucking Soderbergh wrote a Star Wars script that apparently was excellent. And so that's exciting on the face of it. Now, his reasons for this being bad is that he hates movies. In fact, one of the things you'll see the most often in the live streams, it's very performative, but it's also how they believe, is they'll say literally anything. It's like, oh, they're going to make a new Predator movie. And then as that fancy queen will be like, oh my God, oh my God. God, what are these fucking piece of shit Brits? I'm not saying all Brits are piece of shit, but these are definitely the piece of shit ones. And then they go through this whole song and dance. It's like, you just don't like movies. I saw this TikTok, this guy Drew was talking about. He's like, he was getting kind of depressed because he's like, he realizes that a lot of people don't like comics, they just like comic book characters. This is kind of like the Mickey Mouse-ization. For people who don't know, Mickey Mouse used to be an actual character who had personality. Like, he would go into jealous rages, he would go on adventures and carry a gun. One time he tried to kill himself with an oven, which was like an old-timey way to kill yourself. And at some point he became a mascot and he had all of his personality drained away. And what I realized is something that everyone was aware of was actually horrible. And what it was about 15 years ago, Target and Walmart started selling superhero t-shirts. Cheap ones, $10. And they would rotate designs, but they would always have them with the Guns N' Roses and the Nirvana t-shirts and all that type of stuff. And this is literally what we have a generation later. We have people who aren't comic book fans. They're Target t-shirt comic theme fans. They like the Captain America shield. They saw an MCU movie. And it's really easy to fake being a comic book fan, especially when you say review comics, but you give the good ones only 1 or 2 minutes and somebody else is talking as well. It's real easy to fake the funk. But getting back to Critical Drinker's video about it being a good thing that a Steven Soderbergh Star Wars movie was canceled. And it was just like I said, he can't have been this bad because he wasn't making any points. He was just saying something like, all Star Wars is bad. This definitely would have been bad. And at least, oh God, I'm blanking on his name. The actor was able to build a career after Star Wars. Obviously, the implication being that he didn't have one before, even though he did. Again, this is just a complete lack of media literacy. But it's not that this would have been bad. It's that that's the only thing they can say. It's 2025. Things are good. A lot of stuff is good. A lot of stuff was good, and they lied to you, and you believed them. Ahsoka was good. Winter Soldier was good. Andor Season 1 was good. They tried to jump, like, reverse bandwagon onto that thing. There's a whole bunch, every week or so, I'm finding something that I actually believe them, and it's like, no, this is good. They're just piece of shit bums who do what? Sell despair to depressed middle-aged Republicans. And all losers want to hear is that everyone else is more of a loser than them. But yeah, this is all they got. All they got is culture war. They hate comics. They hate video games. They hate movies. It's just, it's real. Making fun of something woke is the easiest thing in the world. The problem is, not very many things are woke. So they just decided, let's just hate everything. Because that appeals to losers. It's like that thing they say about the dark side, where Luke asks if it's stronger. And Yoda just says, it's quicker, it's easier. And that's what they did. They went to the dark side. They did the easiest thing. What's the easiest emotion to rile up? Anger. So you got Wes, doesn't give a fuck about comics. You got Gretchen Felker Martin joking about, oh, my pitch was Red Hood assassinates the president, then he gets cornered and kills himself, and then Batman turns to the reader and says, I support that. Very clearly a joke. Also, a pretty good example of autistic humor, which is awful. still better than conservative humor. It's like, I'm going to go bother someone and see if he gets bothered. He got bothered. What a soy boy beta cuck. But yeah, anyway, if you wonder why frickin' Eric July is hibbity-jibbiting about a random tweet about Star Wars on a Monday, it's because he's got fucking nothing. If you wonder why Critical Drinker is somehow not wanting a Steven Soderbergh movie to exist, it's because he doesn't actually like movies. This is just something easy he fell into. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.